Shabbat Shalom, everyone. So last week I was driving on the road, those Vermont roads, the twisty, turny, windy ones, and all of a sudden a deer dashed right in front of my car. Heading across the street, no sense that I was coming, and no sense that it was coming. And I hit the brakes. My body kicked into gear, slowing down. The deer kept going. I was safe. And then my heart began to race. I ask you tonight, when we are confronted with a threat, how do we respond? Perhaps it's a physical threat. Maybe it's a threat to our identity, our sense of self. Maybe it's just someone who disagrees with us. Maybe it's a phone call that gets us a little defensive. How do we respond to a perceived attack? And how do we respond to our body's reaction to that? This is one of the great questions in this week's Torah portion, Vayeshev. Vayira Yaakov me'od vayitzar lo. Jacob feared greatly and was distressed in his anxiety. Such are the words of our Torah after Jacob finds out that his brother Esav, the one who he had stolen the birthright and the blessing from many years back, Jacob finds out that there he is, very close by in his own camp, with 400 men with him. There Jacob is with his family, his children, all of his possessions. And he is told that his powerful hunter brother was just around the corner, the one who sought to kill him, who seeked harm on him. Vayitzar Yaakov, Vayitzer lo, Vayira Yaakov me'od. He was greatly distressed. We're told that his first reaction, Jacob's first reaction to his fear, is to divide and conquer. He splits his family up and his possessions into two different camps, and he eventually splits them up into multiple groups, sending each one of them one at a time to Esav, slowly and deliberately, each with a gift. Then Jacob prays. Katonti mikol hachasidim. I am unworthy of all the kindnesses that you, God, have so steadfastly shown to your servant. With my staff alone I crossed this Jordan, and now I have become two camps, meaning he had a staff, he crosses the Jordan, and all of a sudden he's got possessions and an entire family. He has been blessed. These are the prayers of a man who is scared and buttering God up, seeking this next prayer that he delivers. Hatzileni na miyad achi miyad Esav. Deliver me, I pray, from the hand of my brother, from the hand of Esav. Else I fear he may come and strike me down, mothers and children alike. Here he calls on God's better judgment. I have mothers, I have children here with me. Do not let Esav strike me down. He beseeches a higher power. But even after his prayers, and prayers can be helpful to temper that sense of fear. But even after his prayers, he is still afraid. very afraid. Vayira Yaakov me'od, vayitzar lo. It says in 3 different ways, in 5 short words, how scared he was. Rashi, the medieval commentator, says he was afraid lest he be killed. Okay, we can all understand that. But he also is distressed. Why does it say he was afraid and distressed? Well, he was distressed that he might have to kill someone himself. He was scared of that act of fighting another person and perhaps even killing them. He was fearing and distressed for his life and that of others. Chizkuni, another medieval commentator, says, no, that's not why he was afraid. He was afraid, his fear resulted from the fact that he now was no wiser than he was before, when many years ago he left Esav and left his family and sought refuge away from Esav. He had no clue, says Chizkuni, as to Esav's real intentions. What did Esav want? He had no idea. Now, while I am moved by Rashi and Chizkuni's interpretations, I find them very compelling, I am perhaps more moved by another great sage, the Japanese-American karate teacher from The Karate Kid, Mr. Miyagi. That's right, folks, Mr. Miyagi, who I would like to quote in his broken English. Yes, Beth, wax on, wax off. Okay? Follow me here for a moment. Here's what Mr. Miyagi says. Fighting not good. Somebody always get hurt. Miyagi always look for way not to fight. Miyagi hate fighting, most unfortunate. If perhaps we look past the fact that this was a Karate Kid Hollywood production trying to get you into the box office and see the deeper wisdom, perhaps even the Torah in these words. The premise is that Mr. Miyagi is always trying to stay away from fighting. How can we de-escalate? Jacob, in some ways, has shown himself in this own lesson. He finds ways, he splits up his camp, he sends messengers to Esav, he bows down before him at the end of the story, and he humbles himself. He offers gifts, lavish gifts from his possessions. Anything to not fight. But there's something else that Mr. Miyagi also demonstrates, which is when he experiences fear, he is able to calm his mind, calm his heart, connect to himself and his breath. He seeks a way to be non-reactionary. Now, perhaps Jacob reaches this level. We don't know. We should wait for the Hollywood version and find out. But what we do learn is that Jacob himself bows down to the ground 7 times in prayer until he is near to his brother. He makes himself entirely vulnerable in this moment. He is bowed down before a brother that wants to kill him, perhaps. Jacob finds the courage in his own way to confront his brother, humbly and without a fight. And in this case, I'm not recommending always bowing down before an enemy, a potential enemy, but in this case, he is rewarded. Vayaratz Esav likrato, vayichabkehu, vayipol al tzavaro, vayishakehu, vayivku. Esav ran to greet him. He embraces Jacob, and falling on Jacob's neck, Esav kisses him. And they weep. They weep together, finding the reconciliation beyond the fight that they had for so many years. For me, as the deer passed my headlights and made it to safe land on the other side, and I was safe, I consciously took a few deep breaths, quieting my mind, quieting my heart. My heart slowly started to calm. Beyond the physical reaction, breathing through the fear, praying words of gratitude for my life. So in those moments where we are faced with great distress, may we find our breath. May we find our way through it and respond, not react, from the deep point of connection that is within us. Amen. Shabbat shalom to you all.